Charlotte tomorrow. In the West, Golden State eliminated the LA Clippers. The Warriors will play the Phoenix Suns for the 8th seed. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Thursday. It is April 16th, 2026. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. You did good, Freddie. No Facebook today. I hate Facebook. But 710 KURV Live X, right? And 710 KURV YouTube Live. Yeah, that's where we are right now. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz and AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina with an update on the chance of rain and a cold front for Sunday, so stick around for that conversation. Some local and Texas news. A bicycle rider who was the victim of a suspected hit-and-run crash back on March 20th, Eric Lee Flores, reportedly died this past weekend. And the 71-year-old suspected driver of the vehicle involved in this now deadly collision will reportedly see charges increased. Bond for him has been set at $400,000. It's 7:06 on the Valley's Morning News. Texas Ag Commissioner Sid Miller wants folks in Texas to get a break on their gasoline tax.
Ag Commissioner Sid Miller says he's calling on Governor Abbott to temporarily suspend the state's motor fuel tax. He says prices for both diesel and gasoline have been skyrocketing, and it's hurting working families in the state. Miller says Indiana and Georgia have already suspended their gasoline taxes, and Texas should follow their lead.
Stephen Pickering with that report. Heads up if you live in McAllen. City of McAllen is inviting the public to contribute ideas on redeveloping the downtown area. McAllen has created an online survey asking you about the type of businesses you'd like to see in downtown, also in the entertainment district. The survey, also including an interactive map, allows you to see, mark comments on specific areas. The survey for McAllen, you'll find it at their website, is going to be open till May 5th. It's 7:07 on the Valley's Morning News. Texas hoping to attract more foreign investment with a new trade office in London.
The new office is expected to open later this month and put Texas and the new Texas Stock Exchange front and center of British investors. The Guardian reporting that James Taylor, a lobbyist and PR firm partner, will head the office, which will court foreign banks and investment houses that could benefit from Texas not having corporate taxes or income tax. It could also help Texas businesses with exports overseas. Our state currently has similar offices in Mexico and Taiwan.
It's 7:08 on the Valley's Morning News. And on the cultural and entertainment side, that music festival out in California, Coachella, right? Coachella Cochinadas, that's what it is. With the weekend of the Coachella Music and Arts Festival, now crews are going through all the mess, trying to clean things up.
Festival officials say the 125,000 people who attend Coachella leave behind a lot of trash. Crews say about 20% of attendees recycle, but there's still about 106 tons of trash left behind every day. It takes crews about 4 days to turn the grounds around for weekend 2. That's clearing the trash and cleaning up the camping areas. And then the process will start all over for Stagecoach. I'm Bree Tennis.
It's 7:09 on News Talk 710 KURV. It is AccuWeather time, and we say Dougie and all the gang over at Martin Farm and Ranch. Swing by Martin Farm and Ranch for healthy animals. You feed them Purina. That's the best. Purina at Martin Farm and Ranch. And if you stop by, say hi to Dougie from us. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina, holding everything steady. Low 90s, low to mid 90s today, tomorrow, Saturday. Take us to the weekend, Jason. Sunday, when do you think that cold front crosses? Chance of rain seems to be increasing. So what's going on?
Yeah, looking at the breakdown, it looks like we could start to see some showers around 9 p.m.-ish Saturday night. And then it's going to continue overnight Saturday, occasionally Sunday. Looking at the breakdown, looks like afternoon Sunday, we could find a couple things going through with maybe about 3/10 worth of rain by the time it's close to 3/10 worth of rain by the time it's all said and done. So we'll see how that plays out. But Yeah, certainly Sunday afternoon and into the early evening looks like a pretty good chance for a couple of showers or a thunderstorm to come through. And then into the evening hours, still some very light stuff during the evening and overnight into early Monday. I made it to about 7 a.m. Monday morning, and there's still a little light stuff overnight, Sunday night into Monday, a few hundredths.
And then you turn off the spigot, right?
Heading in the night, it should dry out. Still a couple of showers Monday, but after that, it should, I think, dry out at that.
The cooler temperatures welcome relief, so should be what, in the 60s on Sunday. I think
60s to the low 70s, yeah.
And then overnight, what, 50s for Sunday night to Monday morning in the 60s. The 50s overnight, I'm guessing.
Right near 60. So some spots will get down to 50, into the 50s rather.
So how much and how quick of a warm up early next week is there after that cold front?
Yeah, it warms right back up. Mid and upper 70s Monday, mid 80s Tuesday. So just a brief cool down.
And then after the 90s, after that, back to the regular temperatures for the area. Are you red flagging anything for Texas travel today, tomorrow? Dallas still messy, or what's going on?
Yeah, hang on a sec. Let me scroll back up. Today, Houston's fine. Dallas, some fog this morning. Otherwise, fine during the day today, but some strong thunderstorms late tomorrow night.
Okay.
Flash flooding, damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes possible with those.
Those meteorologists earn their salary up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area this time of year, man. It gets really exciting. We mentioned that because as we connect to Houston and Dallas, everything from here connects to Houston or Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Expect some delays up in the Dallas-Fort Worth the next 24, 48. All right, pal. Let's see. On the menu for today, Eggs Benedict. No?
Nah.
Okay.
Not a fan.
I figured. You're good with eggs, though. You want scrambled eggs or eggs?
Again, it's the texture thing. They freak me out.
I should have known.
I'm fine with eggs in things, but like as their own, yeah, no.
Hard boiled eggs, yes? No?
Never had one.
Oh. Wow. He just
oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. It really is.
Well, the terrible gassy stuff afterwards, at least you avoid that as a result. So thank you, pal. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on 710 KURV. Highs today, low to mid 90s. It should be upper 80s at the beach, and that is your AccuWeather forecast. If your monthly tech bill seems to be a bit higher of late, you're not imagining anything. There's a new report that says that American consumers, they spend about $1,000 every year on streaming services and apps.
A new report from the personal finance site CNET Money finds subscription prices for apps, streaming services, and cloud storage have climbed again this year as companies quietly raise monthly fees. The average household now pays for more than a dozen digital services, with many on auto-renew. Experts say the easiest way to cut costs is to check your phone and email for forgotten subscriptions, cancel trials before they roll over, and bundle any services when possible. A quick cleanup can save the typical family more than $200 a year. I'm Monica Nelson.
AMC theaters, and I do believe we only have two in the area. I know the one in Edinburgh, we got the IMAX. The only IMAX in the area is at AMC. And I think there's an AMC, a smaller one in Rio Grande City. Good morning to all the family in Stark County. So AMC Theaters is raising the price of their Stubbs A-List program. AMC revealing the plan for the price hike following rising costs at their cinemas. So subscription, the membership will go to just under $30, up $2 from the previous charge. And nearly 100 Texas doctors are asking Governor Greg Abbott to get involved in the fight against microplastics.
They delivered a letter laying out potential risk. Haley McCourse with Environment Texas says they found links between microplastics and many diseases, including colorectal cancer, reproductive issues, obesity, and heart disease.
The smaller the microplastics are, sometimes called nanoplastics, they can get suspended in the air and the wind, and then we can breathe them in.
She says they can be released from worn-down tires, ingested via food containers or seafood, which is high concentrations due to plastic pellet pollution. They're also in things made with polyester. The doctors want Abbott to establish a task force to investigate the public health risk. Barbara Schwartz, News Talk 710 KURV.
Up next on the Valley's Morning News, I get to have some fun again with an old friend who's not that old, but the eternally young Mike Willis. We're going to look at some of the employment trends, unemployment trends, the size of the workforce, maybe those numbers will shock me enough where I say, what you talking about, Willis? Mike Willis from the South Texas Manufacturers Group next on 710 KURV.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
On May 2nd, vote yes on Proposition A. Vote yes on repairs, upgrades, more teaching facilities, more security for our kids at McAllen ISD with no tax rate increase. Local Attorney Jesse Barba.
Competition is wonderful. Let us compete on equal playing fields. Give us the funds to maintain buildings. Let us repair the roofs, put up the facilities we need so that we can compete with other programs. I have no problem with competition. McAllen has just landed a company from France coming in. There will be a subcontractor for the automobile industry. It will be high-tech jobs. That requires education. You don't need to be sending a signal to international companies telling them that we need less education and we're not investing in our system. We want to compete and we want to show them that we can. We're every bit as intelligent as the people in Austin, Dallas, and Houston. It's the education to do it. Your tax rate will not increase. This is wonderful for the community.
Early vote is April 20th through the 28th. Election day is Saturday, May 2nd.
Paid for by Rosalinda Aguirre.
This is Michael Berry, host of The Michael Berry Show, weeknights starting at 6. Thank you, Rio Grande Valley, for listening to News Talk 710 KURV.
News Talk 710 KURV, your station in South Texas for Houston Astros baseball. They got a chance to take out the brooms and sweep the Rockies tonight. Payback. Let's go Astros. 640 broadcast on 710 KURV. Big thank you to Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. And back in the studio, it's been a while. It's good to see from the South Texas Manufacturers Group, my friend Mike Willis, and we're going to look at some employment and unemployment numbers and workforce issues, workforce size as well. Mike, welcome back. So tell me on the unemployment or employment side, let's start with the unemployment numbers for the area, what they're doing. All right. Well, turn on Mike 2 ready. There we go. Go ahead.
All right. Well, glad to be here, sir.
Yes, sir. Welcome back.
So, I looked at the employment numbers that our friends at the Workforce Solutions office in McAllen put out. So January is just now coming out. There's a couple month lag at the end of the year where the agencies at the federal and state level get all the data closed up for the year. So January just came out, and the unemployment rates spiked a little bit in January, but they do every January because they go down in November, December as all the retailers and
the temporary
venues
workers,
and stuff put people on for the holiday season, and they all get laid off in January. So that's normal. So what I like to do is look back a year when a report comes out, look back at compare to numbers the same month the previous year. So our unemployment rates across the valley and really in Texas and the country were higher in January this year than they were in January of 2025.
Okay.
So
by how much, muscle minutes? Just say
like in Hidalgo County, it went up from 6.3% unemployment in January 2025 to 7.1 in January 2026.
Okay.
Cameron County went up from 5.5% to 7.2% last year. And I looked at the numbers a little bit. Basically, in both counties, there were right at 3,000 more unemployed people this past January than there were January the year before. Okay. I didn't try to dig into the industries and all of that in general. But I know when you ask why, I mean, and I know in the last year or two, really manufacturing industry has been kind of what I would call sluggish, slow. I think the tariffs have had some impact on the manufacturing industry so far in some parts of it. Economic growth has been a little sluggish for the last year. There's a lot of uncertainty, and people, like in manufacturing, a lot of companies are holding off on capital investment decisions until they know what the tariff situation is going to end up looking like. Also, I know Cetrium, which used to be Kepler Amples at the Port of Brownsville, wound down its operations last year and sold the company to another company. So they probably put down about 2,500 jobs during 2025.
Yeah, we're in the middle of that transition.
Yeah. And it's these are estimates, and the numbers never jump around because one particular company hires or lays people off. So it takes a while for big changes to work their way into the data from what I've seen. As far as the country goes, kind of a similar picture. I looked at Texas. Texas lost 8,100 manufacturing jobs and 4,700 oil and gas jobs in the last January to January. But they gained 30,000 construction jobs. And if you think about it, like President Trump's gotten a lot of commitments and others from the CHIPS Act. There's a lot of semiconductor plants under construction. A lot of pharmaceutical plants are starting construction around the country and all of that. So I think they were expecting to see a a surge in construction jobs, and the manufacturing jobs that go into those buildings that are being built will be seen probably next year and the following year and so on. So that may be part of that. That kind of supports that narrative.
Multiple trillions of dollars in investment, stuff that needs to expand and build and lay new foundation, or put some extensions to parking lots, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's taken a while to work. How much of this do you think is potential shrinkage in like the size of the workforce in the country? Because you can't.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that they can't pay all just cash. You know what I mean? Like under the table, just cash, like illegal immigrant.
Actually, the immigration situation, I think, is a part of it. That the civilian labor force. Remember that all these numbers are estimates; they're not head counts, right? So the household surveys that are used to create the employment and unemployment reports and the civilian labor force. Civilian labor force is all the people estimate of all the people, how many people in the country either have a job or don't have a job, but they're ready, willing, and able to work and are looking for a job.
Okay.
If a 28-year-old sitting home on mama's couch playing video games and not interested in working, he's in the population, but he's not in the civilian labor force, and he's not counted as unemployed. If he says he's looking for a job and can't find one, and that's why he's on the couch, then he's unemployed and in the civilian labor force.
Yeah, you got to ding the radar and get off the couch and ding the radar for you to count.
But demographically, our population growth has decelerated. The baby boomers are leaving the workforce. Yeah. Most of the new jobs that have been created nationally have been in home health and healthcare, which you might expect, social services and all that. You might expect an aging population needs more of that type of work.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of the job creation has been in the past year.
Yeah, we're probably still short on that quite a bit as we got more people moving into healthcare.
So in 2020, calendar year 2024, the U.S. gained 1.9 million total jobs, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Last year, they only gained 180,000 jobs. So there was a dramatic slowdown in new job creation last year.
Wow.
The unemployment rate in January 2025 was 4%. It was 4.3% in January 2026. So I looked inside the numbers a little bit. There were about 500,000 more people were unemployed in the United States this past January than there were in January 2025. So the civilian labor force also shrank by about 230,000 people. Usually nationally it grows about 1 to 2 million people a year more go into the labor force, not the population, but the labor force. So I was thinking about with the immigration crackdowns, it's important to know that nobody, when they do the surveys about are you working or looking for a job, they don't ask, are you legal to work? Are you a U.S. citizen? Yeah. That includes anybody, legal or illegal, is looking for a job.
Mike Willis from the South Texas Manufacturers Association. Sorry to interrupt you on that one, but I think it's important to go back and define, because I had a misconception on the whole unemployment. I was lost on this, that the Labor Department, it's a survey-based estimate, not necessarily on, okay, how many people are getting an unemployment check? That data set doesn't work. Labor Department says it's a survey. Again, going back to what you said, it's not the guy playing video games sitting on only mama knows that her son's unemployed.
Yeah.
But that dude's not out looking for a job. And it's a survey asking, you looking for a job? Or are you ready to work? That's the type of data that goes into producing.
It's randomly selected surveys. It's not the only. There are a lot of other variables they use to massage the numbers. Like they do look at the change in the unemployment rate and all that. But the core business data that comes about jobs and creation comes from what they call an establishment survey, a mandatory business survey that randomly selected businesses have to fill out every quarter, for when they're selected, and then randomly selected households. And of course, response rates have been really challenging. That's why there's so many backward revisions to all this data, because they have to wait for late responses to come in and then go back and readjust numbers from previous months. That's what happened last year when there was a big flap about so many 100,000 jobs being taken out of the picture. That happened this year too, but you didn't hear as much about it.
Yeah, you just took me to school. I was going, why the radical change? I was like, are they going back to survey again to see if it actually was real? No, it's the lag of those numbers that are coming in.
And businesses have to, they rely on the businesses to report what sector they're in. Like I've looked in the data and found businesses that were auto manufacturing businesses, and they were counted as auto parts sales stores because the company selected the wrong NAICS number, which who knows how to select the right numbers out of all of that.
Yeah.
So all these numbers are estimates. So, if the methodology stays consistent, at least you can look at the change.
Mike Willis from the South Texas Manufacturing Association. I need to ask you, because we touched a little bit on the whole immigration thing. That's just a sliver, small percentage of, I would say crumb sometimes when it comes to labor, overall labor size of the economy. But there's, I know you've read plenty of write-ups on everything from logistics to media. Artificial intelligence has thrown a lot of people out the door because companies are moving more to be more efficient, save some money, understood. But yeah, that is affecting the workforce. That's an unexpected factor, an unexpected force. That's now that I'm sure we didn't see 12, 24 months ago that AI would be affecting so many media jobs, logistics jobs. You got UPS, for example, another separate issue. Amazon said, "Oh, we can deliver our own." So UPS is throwing tens of thousands of people out the door that they were depending on those delivery jobs before. So there's other things at play in the workforce right now.
Yeah, I mean, AI is what we call AI is a new wrinkle, but I mean, I go back 50 years in manufacturing myself, and the whole 50 years we've continuously added new automation technology and all that. We don't bemoan how many bank teller jobs were lost when they invented the ATMs, right?
only Barack Obama.
Yeah,
when remember that
McDonald's trained us to empty our own trash and stopped hiring people walking around picking up our trays for us.
Yeah.
And now the retailers have trained us to scan our own groceries.
Yeah.
So, so there is job losses. And what's happened in manufacturing, as the job market is tightened up, supply and demand. When labor gets scarce, wages rise, right? So now it's more economical to invest in automation and technology than it used to be because the labor cost is higher and there's a shortage of labor. So you're seeing more and more and the technology is improving continuously, of course, at an accelerating rate. So that's a legitimate point that but a lot of the robots are doing jobs that were repetitious, somewhat boring. I've seen robotic sprayers and robotic robots doing painting where people had to carefully move their hands holding paint guns and get exactly the right coat on all these elaborate parts and leaving splotches and drips and unpainted areas. A robot can do that first time, every time right.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't take breaks.
And that has been, especially our neighbor, Elon Musk, with the new robots on the way that are AI infused.
Yeah.
That technology will be perfected exponentially in a very short amount of time. Mike Willis with the South Texas Manufacturers Association. I got to ask you your opinion. I'm running out of time.
Okay.
As you've had from the South Texas perspective, I would say at least 2 decades solid with you, Mike, looking at the evolution of the economy down here. And now with the French components, leading technology, advanced technology manufacturer coming to McAllen, Valeo, our neighbor, Elon Musk, with the rocket factory in the valley. Let me pinch myself. Did I just say rocket factory in the valley launching into space and the port and LNG and refinery, all that amazing stuff, tier 1 manufacturing also in Brownsville. I want to get your thoughts and opinion. Where are we headed here? Because we have we have a good synergy when it comes to Region 1, high schools, the colleges. It looks like we have a good pipeline, Texas workforce, to make sure that our families, our kids are the ones that are getting these jobs.
So our manufacturing employment has been pretty flat for 10 or 12 years here in the Valley, but it's changed. It's getting ready to change and grow exponentially. So like SpaceX has around 3,000 or 4,000 employees. They're hiring 4,000 new employees this calendar year. The Rio Grande LNG, SpaceX and Rio Grande LNG are both members of our association. The LNG has just asked for permission to build 2 more liquefaction trains. They were going to build 4 to 5, then they decided to build 6, and now they're trying to get approval to build 8.
Yeah.
So we've got 4,000 or 5,000 construction workers at Bechtel, their contractor now. That could grow to 7,000. They're going to be here 3 to 5 years building out all those trains. And then as each one finishes, next decade, the company that owns it will be adding hundreds of high-paid technicians. Forza Steel at the port, starting to hire. They spent $85 million building and fixing up their factory. They're going to be hiring about 150 people. As you've already alluded to some of the others, Vallejo. There's a company called Saronic Technologies that builds autonomous boats. We're competing with, Port of Brownsville's competing with California.
Oh, yeah.
If they come here, they're going to be
Project Alpha, as they call it.
They'll be building. Think about autonomous cars. These are going to be autonomous unmanned boats.
Yeah.
They're going to have 10,000 employees, average pay $90,000 a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're on the cusp of major growth in manufacturing. We've been working for years. Our association, the area economic people, development people, the South Texas College, Texas Southmost, TSTC. We've got dual enrollment programs in place in the high schools where kids in as early as 9th grade can start earning associate degrees to be mechanics, mechatronics technicians, machine operators, quality machinists, CNC machinists. We've got the programs in place. What we've lacked is enough young people to choose those careers.
Yeah.
And I think as we get more of these high-end, high-tech, well-known companies locating here, it's going to stimulate more interest in parents and kids to choose those careers.
Yeah. Mechatronics, Freddie, that's the term we're looking for. We're trying to, because we spoke to somebody at South Texas College, I want to say almost a year ago, and it's just amazing how high the salaries are for that type of specialty in industry.
And we've always lost a lot of our graduates to the bigger companies up north that are hiring. But our wages are rising fast too.
Well, as they say, it takes money to make money. Well, it takes industry to bring more industry, and that's the ballooning effect from that. More than 50 years in experience in industry, he says. Mike Willis. And I say, what you talking about, Willis? You don't look a day over 50. That's a thing. Yeah, I asked Freddie. Freddie, how old does Mike Willis look? Oh, he's 50, something like 50. Yeah.
74.
Made no less.
So the secret, Sergio, is to go bald when you're 25, and then your appearance never changes after that.
Yeah, so you direct all the stress to the follicles. They fall off, and there you go. That's how you get rid of it. Yeah.
So much brain up there, it's pushed the hair out by the roots, man.
Attaboy. Mike Willis, South Texas Manufacturers Association. The morning news on News Talk 710 KURV. Sports is next. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing is the top outfit in commercial roofing systems. Folks that you can trust to give you an honest opinion of what is taking place up there, what you never see, what you never visit. It's the roofing system at your businesses, at your warehouses, and your commercial strips. You need an honest opinion, and you need to be ready to accept that honest opinion. Because frankly, amigo, if it's been years since you had this checked, don't be surprised if you got a couple of weak spots. You need to know about this before that weak spot becomes an entry point for moisture, for water coming down at you from the ceiling tiles, and then it's going to shut you down. I know you don't want that. Because, man, that's your job on the line if you're managing for some state office. Hey, you're the property manager. ¿Qué pasó? Like, what happened? Property manager. And, of course, you as a business owner with tenants, folks who depend on you to be properly managing what they're leasing, renting from you. It's embarrassing to get those calls. Hey, I got a leak. What happened? How come you didn't take care of the roofing system? Do it. Called Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Expert assessment from a company with almost 130 years in the business. Highly trained, expert individuals, also highly trained on safety issues. Trust them for that honest opinion. And maybe you get the prize when they'll come down and say, hey, there's nothing wrong with it. You're good. Call us in, I don't know, 2 years, something like that. Chamberlain Roofing, Waterproofing, ChamberlainLTD.com. Free inspection, free assessment of your roofing systems at 956-655-6178.
It has long been proven that our world is not at the center of the universe. In fact, Our place in everything can at times feel pretty small, even invisible. But we also know a bright, physical, and emotional universe exists in each of us. And when we believe in each other, carry each other, and build relationships that last a lifetime, invisible turns invincible. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas, you're at the center of everything we do. We know your story is unique to you, your family, your work, your plans for the future. We believe in you, and we will always be honored to have your story at the center of ours. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas. Through it all.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas, a division of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
Coming up after the Valley's Morning News, stay tuned for the Sergio Show starting at 9, followed by the Dana Lash Show at 11 on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Potomac app.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The Houston Astros picked up a hard-earned win at home last night, beating the Colorado Rockies by a score of 3-1. The Astros found a unique way to get on the board in the first inning, hitting back-to-back sacrifice flies to go up 2-0. However, in the next frame, Rockies infielder Willie Castro hit an RBI double to cut Houston's lead in half. Keeping up the back-and-forth start, Yordan Alvarez cranked this solo bomb in the third to get back the 2-run lead.
Alvarez with an abbreviated practice swing. Here's the 2-2. And this one's hit hard. Down the right field line by Echo Diaz. A home run for Alvarez, his 7th of the year.
The team will be back in action tonight to go for the series sweep against Colorado. The Texas Rangers were not as fortunate, taking a tough 6-5 loss to the Athletics. Down 6-2 in the top of the 8th inning, Jake Berger hit a 3-run homer to bring the Rangers within 1. Unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize and went on to lose the game. The team will be back in action this afternoon to close out their series against the Athletics. The Dallas Stars played their final regular season game last night, winning a shootout thriller 4-3. The second period was a bash with 2 goals from each side to tie the game at 3 apiece. The third period and OT went scoreless, sending the game to a shootout. With the win, the Stars have achieved their 3rd straight 50-win season and finished the year with 5 straight dubs. Now they'll prepare for their first-round Stanley Cup matchup against the Minnesota Wild. I'm Adam C., and this is your Texas in the Morning Sports Report.
AccuWeather says no change in the forecast. So highs today should be upper 80s, 88, 89 over at Starbase, our neighbor, Elon Musk and all the gang, upper 80s at the beach. And 93 McAllen, Edinburgh Mission, Harlingen, Mid-Valley, Western Valley. Same thing tomorrow. Same thing Saturday. Cold front Sunday with chance of a thunderstorm late Saturday into Sunday as a result of the cold front. Porter Bridge wait times as posted on KURV.com. If you're headed back to the Brownsville area, it is an hour 15 minutes at B&M and Gateway. It's 45 minutes at the Veterans Bridge. Headed back to McAllen Mission, Edinburgh. 45 minutes at Ansel Lewis and the Hidalgo Bridge. Business news check of your money. That's next on 710 KURV. Join us online. Producer Freddie, this morning, he placed this on 710 KURV X Live and 710 KURV YouTube Live. Call Culligan today. I'm going to give you the number. You make the phone call. Tell them you want the same water purification system, state-of-the-art filters, that reliable system that my family and I, we've been enjoying now for, almost a decade now. I can't imagine not having my Culligan water purification system. The water always tastes perfect. It's satiating, refreshing. It's devoid of any contaminants. Culligan can even connect it to your ice box. You got perfect ice cubes. On top of that, I remember Delia, she's always cleaning her contact lenses. And of course, I'm cleaning up medical equipment for our son as well, little nabs and masks and things like that. Call Culling and get your own system. Only $35 a month. You're going to love it. You're going to love the convenience and the peace of mind that no matter what happens in the world, the world's coming to an end outside. You got, a Category 5 hurricane or zombies outside. You can stay home. and drink water. You always got water. Constant stream of satiating, truly healthy, great tasting water from Culligan. Call them today. Get your own system. 956-399-1780.
Hi there. My name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
Come experience larger-than-life luxury and design at Bird Ogden Infinity in Edinburgh. You're invited to come in and choose from a great selection of new Infinities available now. Drive your own 2026 Infinity QX60 for just $469 a month. And all Infinities come available with the Infinity Premium Care Maintenance Plan for 3 years. Experience luxury as it's meant to be at Bird Ogden Infinity on the corner of Alberta and Expressway 281 in Edinburgh. Shop from the entire line of Infinities online at birdogdeninfinity.com.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC. McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Flying overseas could soon be very difficult. The International Energy Agency's head is warning that Europe maybe has 6 weeks left of jet fuel as the airline industry continues to grapple with headwinds due to the Middle East crisis. IEA Executive Director Fatih Birol said to the Associated Press that the Strait of Hormuz blockade will result in, quote, the largest energy crisis we have ever faced. A new report says Spirit Airlines could liquidate as early as this week. Bloomberg News reports the airline, which is trying to recover from its second bankruptcy in less than a year, is facing the added challenge of a spike in fuel prices. Spirit said in February that it was set to exit bankruptcy as early as this spring. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said on CNBC that the Trump administration expects banks to comply with a mandate to collect citizenship data. The administration has been considering an executive order to require banks to request additional documents from customers. Futures are up slightly this morning amid peace negotiations for the Iran war. That's Your Money Now.
AccuWeather says no change in the forecast, so highs will be 89 at the beach. Good morning to all the gang at Starbase with our neighbor, Elon Musk. And highs Mid-Valley, Western Valley, closer to mid-90s. Same weather tomorrow. Cold front on the way for Sunday. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News, News Talk 710 KURV, and movie mom Nell Minow. You're probably going, what? Wait, it's Friday again? No. Movie mom Nell Minow should be joining us in about 3 minutes because we have a special program tomorrow, live from San Antonio at Viva Fresh with the Texas International Produce Association with Deepa. We'll be there, Lord willing, in San Antonio with them, so we need to bring in mom today. So we'll see what's at the theater. Thank you for joining us on News Talk 710 KURV. If your mom or dad or a loved one, they need help at home, daily tasks like bathing, dressing, cooking, some house chores. Healthcare Unlimited helped me with my mom and dad. Healthcare Unlimited has been serving South Texas families since 1990 and is proud to be the highest quality rated home care agency in this entire region. Their trained attendants help clients stay safe and comfortable and independent where they want to be, at home. And if your family needs support, please call Healthcare Unlimited today. A little help at home can make a huge difference.
On May 2nd, vote yes on Proposition A. Vote yes on repairs, upgrades, more teaching facilities, more security for our kids at McAllen ISD with no tax rate increase. Local attorney Jesse Barba.
Competition is wonderful. Let us compete on equal playing fields. Give us the funds to maintain buildings. Let us repair the roofs, put up the facilities we need so that we can compete with other programs. I have no problem with competition. McAllen has just landed a company from France coming in. There will be a subcontractor for the automobile industry. It will be high-tech jobs. That requires education. You don't need to be sending a signal to international companies telling them that we need less education and we're not investing in our system. We want to compete and we want to show them that we can. We're every bit as intelligent as the people in Austin, Dallas, and Houston. It's the education to do it. Your tax rate will not increase. This is wonderful for the community.
Early vote is April 20th through the 28th. Election day is Saturday, May 2nd.
Paid for by Rosalinda Aguirre.
Introducing the newest destination for luxury in the Rio Grande Valley, the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen. Come visit Michael Fall, General Manager, today and discover the perfect blend of elegance and power in a new C300 sedan. Get yours for just $561 a month for 36 months. Experience a feeling only 140 years of innovation can deliver. The choice is simple at the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen, a Bert Ogden Auto Group dealership, a true triumph of luxury. Now open at their exceptional new state-of-the-art location at 8522 West Expressway 83 in Harlingen.
Information to start your day.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
We are the pulse of the 956, and we thank you for listening to News Talk 710 KURV. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz, and we have AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina, who says, steady as she goes, Captain. Same thing today. Upper 80s, low mid 90s today, tomorrow, Saturday. Sunday, got a cold front on the way, and stay tuned. We got movie mom Nell Minow in just over a minute, so stick around. This is the Valley's Morning News, and it is a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys. Ready to fight for you? Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth giving an update on the conflict with Iran at the Pentagon briefing this morning.
You like to say publicly, Iran, that you control the Strait of Hormuz, but you don't have a navy or real domain awareness. You can't control anything.
Fox's Matt Finn in Dubai on the U.S. naval blockade of Strait of Hormuz.
CENTCOM writing yesterday an Iranian-flagged cargo vessel tried to evade the U.S. blockade after leaving Bandar Abbas, exiting the Strait of Hormuz, and transiting along the Iranian coastline. The guided missile destroyer USS Spruance successfully redirected the vessel, which is heading back to Iran.
And Pope Leo speaking in Cameroon. He blasted world leaders spending billions on killing and devastation. America's listening to Fox News.
City of McAllen giving folks a heads up. They have provided a survey. They want to hear your opinion on what you want to do for businesses downtown and changes to the entertainment district. The new poll is available on the city website. It will be up till May 5th. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. I wonder how many people that are faithful listeners going, what? I'm sorry, what? That's already? No, it's not fair. We're bringing in Mom Nell Minow, movie mom Nell Minow. A special program note for tomorrow. We will be, Lord willing, we'll be up in San Antonio at Viva Fresh at the Texas International Produce Association Annual Expo from San Antonio. So join us on KURV for conversations tomorrow all morning long. Meantime, movie mom Nell Minow. Let's look at what's at the box office, Mom. Something called Normal. Let's start there.
You know, my son-in-law is from San Antonio. What a beautiful city. Good for you. Okay, Normal. Basically, if you were going to guess which midlife actor would have a new career as an action hero, I don't think anybody would have said Bob Odenkirk. But here we are. He's had two successful movies, Nobody and Nobody 2, and now he wrote this one too. He plays a small-town temporary sheriff. The previous sheriff has died under mysterious circumstances, and the bad guys come to town, and I think you know what happens next. I enjoy these movies. So if you like action shoot 'em ups, I think you're going to like this one. The Christophers, if you're more in the mood for an art house movie, really, really good with Sir Ian McKellen, you know, Magneto, Gandalf. He plays a cranky elderly artist, and his awful children, including James Corden, have hired a forger to come in and forge some new paintings before he dies so they can sell them for a lot of money. And they've got a lot of twists and turns. Michaela Coel from Chewing Gum, absolutely terrific in this. We're going to see her in another movie next week. And then The Mummy, a horror movie. And then I am not recommending for the kids Jackie Chan in Panda Plan 2, which is
Okay.
Jackie Chan and an animated cub of a panda cub. And
It's Jackie Chan in a baby.
I love Jackie Chan. It's sad to see him You know, the man has broken every bone in his body at least twice. It's sad to see him in his 70s with, you know, cutting around, you know, so you can't see where the stuntman steps in. Forget about it. Okay. On streaming, we've got a Colleen Hoover movie. I told you to wait for it to come on streaming. Here it is. Reminders of him, a very soapy story. Next week, we're starting to get the big movies. We've got the Michael Jackson movie starring Michael Jackson's real life nephew, who really looks like him at his best.
I did not know that. I did not know. Okay.
That looks really good. And then I saw the cutest movie of the year yesterday, coming up in a couple of weeks. It is The Sheep Detectives with Hugh Jackman as a shepherd who's killed, and the sheep, voiced by Bryan Cranston, Patrick Stewart, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. They have to solve the mystery. It is the cutest movie. Go watch the trailer. You'll see.
Excellent. Hug and a kiss, Mom. Thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful weekend. That's Movie Mom Nell Minow every week, normally every Friday, but we got special programming tomorrow. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Join us online at X Live and YouTube Live.
They say the world we live in has never been more digitally focused. And these days, it seems as if we spend most of our lives looking down, lost in our own worlds. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas knows some of these advancements in technology serve another purpose: to connect us all with 24/7, 360-degree access to the latest products and technologies to better serve your universe within. And as the most trusted customer-owned health insurer for nearly a century, we've remained community-focused, not publicly traded, grounded in our trusted local presence. So we don't only work for you, we work right here with you. At Blue Cross, we also believe in a larger world of wellness, and we'll make sure it's forever revolving around yours.